A couple of days ago, at the place of work, we were celebrating the 10th anniversary, and we invited Derek DeYoung, a well known artist, to paint at the event. The first day I met him, he found out I'm an artist too, and the next thing I know, he hands me his iPad, he shows me this technique. Instead of drawing, you actually erase, and he was like, go ahead, paint something. I was there like, sure. I'm gonna paint something. Uh, I was a little bit in blank. I was like, what do I paint? I was thinking there for a whole second, and then I was like, I love interiors. I love painting rooms, and I've always thought houses are a reflection of the owner's mind. And I thought it would be interesting to draw something that I would like, a place that I would like to be at. I know he came to see what I was doing. He asked me, what are you drawing?" And I was like, I stuttered for a second. It was that I'm gonna ask him to send me the drawing so I can show it to you. Meanwhile, he was painting on the canvas. For the event, we bought three different canvases. We thought he was gonna paint like he paints fish, right? We thought he was gonna paint a fish in like the three of them, like one big painting, but he decided to paint three different designs in each one, and he was working on one of them. And he asks me, "Do you paint with brush?" And I was like, "Not often, because my technique, I don't use brushes. I don't paint with brushes because I feel I need like more to be more dynamic and more flow. And like I use piping bags, I use like the henna tubes to paint. So I don't usually use brushes." And then he asked me if I wanted to paint in that painting too, and I didn't hesitate. I said, "Yeah." He gives me the paint, he gives me the brush. I sit down, there's people around watching. I'm like really nervous. He was painting in front of everyone, right? It's like the first day of the event. I was really nervous. My hand was shaking. It was like I I I I've always felt like I never like wanted to paint in front of people because I would just get like really nervous. And he told me to paint like these circles around the spots because fish has like these spots all over their body. And I was there, my hand was shaking, but I was like, hey, 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 I'm an artist, I know how to do this, I can do it. And I was telling this to myself while I was painting, and I think I did a pretty good job, even if my hand was shaking. Like, the lines look pretty good. I'm an artist, right? And then I just finished doing all the spots, the circles around the spots. I gave it back to him, and then my mom was like, "Tell him to tell me when he's gonna finish the painting so I can film it." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then I just kept drawing in the iPad. And then later he was like, "Do you wanna paint more?" And I was like, "Sure." And he was painting lines. I'm gonna show you the artwork. It's like really beautiful. He was painting lines all around the fish. It was like a cubist fish inspired in cubism. I finished the artwork, I finished the lines, and my mom was filming the whole time. She was like really proud and excited, and I thought it was cool, and it was a really cool experience. Then the next thing, he was like, "You're gonna paint one of the canvases. Like, I want to see your technique." And I was like, "Sure." He was like, "Choose between these two." I don't know if I have a photo. He posted a photo of the canvas that I actually chose. So I'm going to show you that. I chose the one that had a lot of fish, and I felt like my art style, usually it's like really full of things. There's a lot of things going on. So I chose the one with a lot of fish because I thought it could fit more with my style. And then he was like, "Tomorrow bring your gear because you're gonna paint." Okay. And then the next day, the event continued. It was a 2-day event. There were more people. And the day before, And I continued painting on the iPad because I hadn't finished, and like my parents' friends would come around and be like, "I didn't know you painted too," and I was like, "Yeah, I do." And they were watching me paint, and they were like, "Oh my god, that's so cool." I was painting it in my art style, so that was cool. That they thought it was cool, and they were like, "Oh, you should paint a cat," and I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I painted a cat, and they were like, "Oh my god, that was so fast or so easy," and I was like, "It's really cool how people see when you draw and there's someone that doesn't draw, like how they see things appear in the canvas, like, wow, it's there, you know, it's like really cool." And I also drew a fish because it was a kitchen, what I drew, and I drew a fish because the person was cooking fish, and a woman came to me and was like, "Oh my god, I didn't know you were so good, like your stepfather was showing me your art and it's amazing." And I was like, "Oh wow, thank you." And then the next day I was painting, and I was kind of nervous also. My I was not as nervous as before, but I was kind of nervous because it was like the whole night I was like really anxious. Like really anxious. And I was like, I'm gonna faint or something. I was fine. um I got to paint in front of people, and it's actually really cool because people just stop by and be like, "Oh my god, that's so cool." There was a man that was looking at me and was like, "That's so cool, like, how do you do that?" He was asking me about it, and he was like, "When the paint is dry, is it gonna have relief?" And I was like, "Yes." And I was like, "Yeah, you can touch it." And he touched it, and he was like, "Oh wow." And I thought it was really cool how people like interact with you and how they get curious and be like, "Oh my god, that's so cool," and get close to you and comment. And that was a really cool experience. I really enjoyed it. I didn't know I would have enjoyed that, so I'm really grateful that Derek came to the event and that made me paint in front of people, because otherwise I wouldn't have known it's actually really cool to paint in front of people, and how people are like, "Oh wow, that's so cool," and interact with you. So yeah, and I started painting the canvas, the other design, and I didn't finish it, of course, because I feel I take my time while painting, and it usually takes me a few days. I still haven't finished it. I just a few things left, but I'm gonna show you the painting. You saw how it looked before. Now you're gonna see how it looks now. One thing that made me think is that the background of the painting is in color red, and I usually do it in dark blue. I thought it was gonna look fine. And I thought maybe I'm gonna try something new because you never know. Maybe it looks insane and incredible that I'm gonna start painting everything in a red background. And I think it was a cool thing because I feel it makes the painting look really interesting also. So I'm gonna show you how it looks like. Are you ready for the reveal? This is how the painting looks. I asked Derek to sign it, and there's my signature also. But I kind of want to tell him to come and sign it again, but in yellow, because it needs to mix with the painting, like my signature. You see, and I wanted him to sign it too because the sketch was his, and I did like the rest, but like his sketch. So it's kind of like a collaboration, right? I don't know. Oh, he also painted stuff. He did. Let me get closer. He painted this line, and he also painted this one, the sky blue. lines. He thought he had made a mess, and I was like, it's fine. Like, it doesn't have to look perfect. And at the end, it looks pretty cool. I started painting this fish. This is what he saw in a part of yellow. He didn't see it finished. I'm gonna show it to him today. Well, I still need to finish painting these ones. But it's finished. Like 99%. And I think the the fly looks really cool. Really, really cool. And I want to see this detail in the wings, how you can see the fish on the other side. I think it's really cool. I don't know if you can tell. But yeah, this is the painting. I still don't know what to call it. Something like astral fish. But yeah, this is a painting, and I love how it looks. I love the red background. The colors pop, they look so beautiful. They're all trouts, but they're all different. And yeah, I don't know, tell me what you think of the painting. Hope you like it.